Hello, in today's video we discuss about whether you have the courage to change the way you eat. That is the big question in this video today, because over time, over many years, I am a baby boomer, and over 20, 30, 40 years we have been told what to eat, and most of the time we were told to eat things which have continued to compromise our bodies. I have noted that diseases have continued to increase, and even the younger generations, you get people who are 20 years, 30 years and above, and even children today are getting very sick. They are getting chronic illnesses. They are getting things like cancers, heart attacks, strokes, and blood diseases. And you're asking yourself, if they have been telling us the truth, that the way to eat is this way, and we have been eating like that, and despite that kind of obedience, from whatever sources we are being told, especially from our governments and from those other people who tell us about nutrition, how come diseases have continued to increase? That is the big question. And the bigger question is, are you willing to change the way you are eating to change your status of health? Because can they be able to explain why diseases are more and more today as compared to the times of my grandmother, my grandfather? Today the diseases are getting even younger and younger people. Now, before I go forward and tell you the 3 areas which I'm going to discuss, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell, like and comment. Continue subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that every time I produce a video, you are notified and we continue to grow this channel. Now, the first thing we are going to discuss about is the big lie of red meat. We have been told over time that red meat is very dangerous. You shouldn't eat it because you'll get kidney disease, you'll get heart disease, you'll get other illnesses. So you are told, limit your meat consumption, maybe to once a week, and even if it is things like eggs, limit to 2 eggs maybe per week. But the bigger question is this true? Or are they giving us a big lie? And this big lie has been perpetuated by the big food industry and the big pharma so that they continue to make more money out of our sickness. The big question is, are you going to change the way you have been living for all those years and gotten your body sicker and sicker? Like, take for example me today. I'm trying to recover from the effects of a stroke I got in 2018. And the reason I got a stroke at that particular time was because I had abused my body for so long with the type of food I was eating and the type of lifestyle I was living. But I said to myself, I must change, because if I don't change the way I have been living before, there is no way I'm going to reclaim my health. So when you look at the big lie of eating meat or red meat, the big lie is, how come the societies which are fed on meat and meat products for many years are more healthier than these other societies? Take the society of the Maasai, the Samburu, and many other societies where they primarily eat meat. They are much healthier. They don't have as much chronic diseases as we have today. Chronic diseases have come to these communities when they have changed their lifestyle and started eating the way we are eating. Therefore, are you going to change from this big lie? Meat is a food which has got a lot of nutrients which are healthy to your body. Do you know even the Bible says that a human being is primarily a hunter and then a gatherer. That means you hunt first, and if you can't get your hunt, you gather. That means you primarily eat meat products, but when you are unable to hunt or unable to have a hunt within your community or your household, then you go and gather. You gather the seeds and the plants, you eat. So you can see we have been told clearly, but we have been bribed to this information that we are hunter-gatherers. So your first thing is to hunt, the second is to gather. Therefore, your primary food is proteins and meat proteins. So, see the lie, but the bigger question is, do you have the courage to change the way you eat, the way you have been feeding? Because it has been making millions of us sick. Stay with me and listen to my second and third points which we need to change. The second point we need to change is snacking. We were taught over years that snacking is good for us. For example, you wake up, you have breakfast. By 10 o'clock, you are having 10 o'clock tea and a snack. After that, you are having lunch. After lunch, you have a 4 o'clock snack and tea or something else. And then in the evening, you have your dinner. And in between those meals, you have had maybe a soda here, a fruit here, anything in between. Therefore, you find within the day, you are eating like 8, 9, 10 times in a day. What does that do to your body? It compromises your gut. It makes your body insulin resistant because all the time you're consuming food, and whatever food is you are consuming, your insulin hormone is unable to balance the sugars you are taking in. So what happens? You become insulin resistant and you start getting chronic illnesses. There are many chronic illnesses which you can get out of being insulin resistant. Therefore, give your stomach, give your gut a break. Give it time to digest. Give it time to eliminate. Even when you are driving a car, you drive it for some time, then you stop, it cools down, the engine cools down before you start driving it again. The same with our body system, the same with our stomachs. Please give your stomach time to rest, to digest, to eliminate toxins from your system, and that way you remain healthy. The question is, are you willing to change? Do you have the courage to change from constant snacking and reduce it maybe to 2 or 3 meals in a day? Maybe have a breakfast and a lunch, or a lunch and a dinner, or a breakfast and a dinner, and that means you have reduced it only to 3, and therefore you have given your body enough time to rest, digest, and remove toxins from your body system. And finally, we are going to talk about processed foods. Processed foods is another item which has come like a flood during the last maybe 30, 40 years. What is processed foods? Processed foods are foods which come in a carton, foods which come in a box, food which when you read the ingredients which have made this food, there are so many that some of them you cannot even pronounce. You don't even know what they are. And they give you the ratings of each product they have put in. You don't even know all of them. You don't even have the time to read through all of them. That means these processed foods are not good for you. Eat foods which you can name, like a carrot, a cabbage, a bean, things like those. But do not have processed foods within your diet, because processed foods have got a lot of chemicals, a lot of color, a lot of preservatives, and all these go a long way to be toxins in your body and cause you a lot of illnesses. So stay away from manufactured foods. But I can tell you that the big food industry will continue pushing things to you for you to eat, which eventually become addictives. You are addicted to them. You become addicted to those carbohydrates and sugars they have put or they have hidden within their processed foods. And therefore, you continue making your body more and more sick and getting more and more toxins from the chemicals they have used to preserve these foods, because they are meant to stay in the shelf for as long as possible so that they maximize on the money they are making. So the bigger question is, do you have the courage to change the way you eat? Do you have the courage to to make a 360 degree on the way you are eating and eat more healthy? In our next video, we'll continue talking about staying healthy and looking after your health. Thank you.